Welcome back, guys, to my F125 career mode. I'm hopping into Ferrari today, and we're gonna do a quick qualifying around Suzuka Circuit. Now, I will say Suzuka Circuit is a circuit I have raced before, and it is not that hard to race. You just gotta get the gears right, get maximum rotation, and hopefully not get on the power too early to spin out. But as you'll see in a little bit here, I end up doing exactly the opposite, not hitting my break point quite right. Um, I haven't raced Formula One for in a little bit. I've only raced GT3 cars. So in this next corner here, you'll see that I brake a little late and I go a little wide, which kind of compromises my qualifying. Now coming through this next horseshoe-ish corner, I feel like I braked pretty on the spot. I got the gears down, get that maximum rotation, and here you just want to go flat out all the way. Now forgive me, I don't know all the corners of each track on F1. Um, so this corner you just want to go flat out, and this next corner you brake just before the 50 mark, and turn in. Get all the way on the curb. This one I went a little wide, and then finish off the lap coming in last for qualifying. As you can see there, Charles says it was a good session overall. I mean, ending P20 is not the most ideal. Actually, it's the worst thing ever. But next time we hit this qualifying, maximize track limits, and hopefully break a little earlier to get a good position on qualifying. But we'll have to see what we can do in the actual race.
Exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Tsunoda, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, and Russell, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Stroll, and Alex Albon, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Ollie Behrman, and Antonelli, Gasly, Lawson, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Jack Doohan. Hadja and Charles Leclerc completes today's grid order. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now this is the formation lap here. Um, the strategy for this race was to go from, we're gonna start on softs and lap 8 pit to go to softs again, and finish out on lap 17 pit to mediums. Now there is some strategy to this race because in the weather forecast there was a chance of rain towards the middle to end of this race. So we will see if we need to go to inters or wets, or if we can just stay on slicks and finish the race.
Conditions look stable at the moment, no rain currently expected.
Waiting for the lights to go out, and there's lights out. I get a nice launch out, and I gain a position, but eventually I get boxed out by both Duhan and Bortoletto into the first corner. I end up in the back of Bortoletto, kind of giving a little love tap there. And these bots somehow, some way, EA designed them so they don't defend in the first lap. It's easier to overtake in the first lap. Not that you'll see me overtake in the first lap, but it's apparently very easy to overtake the bots in the first lap because they somehow get ridiculously dumb and don't defend. But you'll see right now we're about to catch a yellow flag because Bortoletto ends up in the dirt, and we're going to resume racing now. Coming up to this corner, Duhan has a little slip. I have this corner nice and easy, and I'm half a brake right now because Duhan doesn't speed up properly. Coming into this horseshoe corner, this is the corner I struggle on most because the braking point is really hard to get right. As you see right now, I get loose on the corner a little bit because of the curb, and I'll use overtake to get in front of Duhan, and that's another position gained. P17. You take this corner flat out, this long left corner, brake before the 50 board, and I go a little wide here. Go really wide, somehow manage to keep the position, get behind Pierre Gasly, and he's back onto the home straight, and that is the first lap done.
Okay, DRS is now available.
Now coming into the sector 2 of the third lap of Suzuka, I still am behind Pierre Gasly, and we're closely grouped up. You see on the top left that we're all on softs or mediums, and this next corner, this next tight left, I end up shooting in for the overtake, and I collide with Pierre Gasly. And I thought I was going to catch a warning or even a penalty for that, but apparently the steward said, nope, you ain't going to get a penalty. So I keep going. Even the engineer says it's a good pass. I didn't think it was a good pass. I really thought I was going to catch a penalty there. But I ended up catching up to Lawson, now P15. So we're going to use some overtake, hopefully get the overtake done, and we do there. Coming into this long left-hander again. I really got to get these names down for these turns, man. Behind Carlos Sainz now. Brake right on the dot. Coming in, turning in, get the maximum rotation on the curb. Now we have DRS activated. Get the DRS straight. Now coming up to the same corner, I overtook Pierre Gasly. Carlos Sainz is in front. Hundredths of a second, 2/10 in front. I'm gonna try and go for the overtake up front like I did on Pierre Gasly. He closes the door on me, so I'm gonna have to try formulate something here. I'm close enough to go for an overtake on the next straight. Trying to facilitate a move here, and I kind of do. I push him out wide a little bit, and I get the overtake done. Now I'm P14, trailing behind Kimi Antonelli. Gonna try to keep up, try to keep the pace going. Now coming in to finish the 12th lap, doing 13th lap now. You see there I overtook Alonso, and somehow I ended up in 5th. still on softs. I think I pitted before, and as you can see, I have that 10-second penalty for speeding inside the pit zone, and I'll put that clip up right now.
Okay, forget the targets for now. We've got to focus on the pit stop.
As you can see, that was the stupid way that I got the 10-second penalty. Honestly, it was kind of my fault. I was literally 1 mile an hour over the speed limit going into the pit. But just gotta keep my head down, keep racing. I'm still in P5. When I have to serve that penalty sooner rather than later. But as you can see, I try to open up a gap. My whole thought process was trying to open up a gap to preserve my position. But now my tires are not great at the moment, so that's really gonna wear on that strategy there. I'm trying to get ahead because as you can see my tires 38%, so I think we'll have to try and pit somewhere soon, hopefully not lose a lot of positions in the process. Now this is where you'll start to see the tires really wear around this next horseshoe corner. As you can see, I brake and I try, but my tires just lacking grip, just go off, and then again they go off. So these tires really worn already. I'll pull up how much they wear. Already 46 and 47 in the front. That it's only a lap later, so that's about 10% each lap that I'm wearing these tires out, these softs. And I thought to pit this lap, but I decided not to. Maybe wait, hold off, see how much longer these tires can last me. That's probably not a good decision, assuming that these guys Norris were going to the pit, or exiting the pits now, going out behind Norris. They're gonna have fresh mediums. Still me on worn softs. I'm gonna be able to get around them, but as you'll see, my tires really start to affect the race. Now this is where I come into pit, end of lap 17, coming into the pits, trying not to get the penalty. There you go. And now I'm gonna have to serve that 10-second penalty for the previous pit infraction. And you're gonna see on the bottom left that I'm just gonna get overtaken by everybody. So I'm gonna end up pretty much in the back of the pack here. And this penalty just, for lack of a better word, ruined my entire race. Gonna come out with hard tires, which probably wasn't the best of ideas, considering it's starting to pour a little bit. I'm gonna come out in P17, just in front of Duhan, and I'm gonna have to make do with these tires. There's about 10 laps left in the race. Just gonna have to ride it out on these tires, unless the rain, unless I can beat the rain. I'm just gonna have to ride it out on these tires. Hopefully I can gain some positions back, even though Bortoletto and Lawson on the grippier tires than I have. The only thing I can hope for is that their tires wear out very quickly and faster than mine do. Fast forward to lap 21. Now it's really starting to affect the racing, this rain on Suzuka circuit. As you can see, me being stubborn, I decided to stay out on the hards, hopefully finishing the race. I thought to myself, I had 6 laps left, might as well finish on the hard compound. and everybody to this point had already pitted, besides a few others who are still probably on the slicks. Everybody pitted to inters, and this was my downfall of the race. Since I did not want to pit to inters, I had to suffer the lack of grip in these slicks, and as you can see right there, the amount of grip in these tires was not sufficient. You'll see into this corner how bad the hards performed in this weather. Honestly, looking back at it now, I should have probably changed into inters, and as you can see, I go straight off in the first turn, straight off, and lose a handful of positions there. And that's just the beginning of this race, beginning of my end in this race. As you'll see, as we progress through this race, I end up losing more positions from here. Pretty much, I should just ended in last, where I started. Overall, this race was not the greatest of races. It was not a great qualifying. But hopefully next race will be different. Gonna crash, mom. Game. Now this was the last lap for me because this race was just not good at all. Ended up ending in P19. You'll see that I won't even be able to finish the last lap because I get lapped by so many people. Overall, uh, the qualifying was atrocious. I could have done way better in the qualifying, especially around a circuit that I really know how to race around, even though I don't demonstrate it here. Um, Hopefully, all I can hope for is that next race qualifying will be better, and hopefully we can get some more positions going, better positions going. Hopefully, end the season off with a good amount of points. But this is the first race of the season. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.